I'm your token American tonight. Star Lady calls me Moon Bear. Okay, so I want to tell you about a program that's near and dear to my heart. So intrinsically, you all know about TED Talks, and by definition, about TEDx. But by show of hands, how many people know what the TED Fellows program is? Yep, that's why I'm here. The TED Fellows program is a chance for extraordinary people to propel their dreams forward, to communicate their ideas, to find community with other people like themselves who might be a little bit different from the norm. This is an outstanding program, and my goal today is to get you excited enough to recommend your friends and to apply yourself. So what kind of people are in the program? First of all, genetic engineers did this. They're part of the program. We have technologists, entertainers, designers, science, humanities, the arts, philosophy, NGOs, startups, academics. We have to have academics. My hat off to the academics, and even human rights folks, and many, many more. So right now, we have 378 fellows from around the world over the last 6 years from 86 countries. But there's just one problem. We only have 2 Australians. And 2 Australians is too few. So whether you're from Hobart or Cairns, from Melbourne to Perth, from Adelaide to, let's just get it right, to Darwin, all those little spaces in between, I can't remember what they are, and Sydney here, where my sister and my niece live, they're in the audience, of course. All out there, there's thousands of Australians that would be great candidates for us. So let me tell you about some of the fellows, just to give you an idea of the kind of people that we work with. So this is Jedi De Eisler. She is an astrophysicist. She works with supermassive black holes that are 1,000 times larger than the black holes you hang out in. They actually emit plasma energy near the speed of light straight towards the Earth, and thankfully, it hasn't reached here yet. This is Monika Booi. She is a Polish photojournalist. Her pictures look like paintings, and she documents the plight of women and girls in Central Asia. This is a blue whale. Actually, this is marine biologist Asha DeVos from Sri Lanka. She actually got her PhD at the University of Western Australia in Perth. We actually have another postdoc in Perth right now, a biologist, and she's studying these extremely weird blue whales of the Indian Ocean. This is Nizar Ibrahim. He is half German, half Moroccan. He's discovered the Spinosaurus dinosaur, which totally kicks the ass of the T-Rex, and ironically discovered it in the desert, the Sahara Desert in Morocco, which used to be a giant ocean and swamp. This is Sarah Jane Pell, and she is our first TED Fellow from Australia, Sarah. And she is an artist and explorer who works in extreme environments like space and underwater. Sarah was caught in the earthquake in Kathmandu, but I'm pleased to report that she's with us in the audience today. This is Sergei Lupatkin. He is Russian, he lives in Switzerland, and he's made a super light drone that you fly like a kite. And so it's lighter, faster, cheaper, easier, less dangerous, and you don't need a commercial pilot's license. And there's him flying 3 at the same time with one hand. We have lots of cool musicians, too. The woman on the right is Ethiopian-American Maklit Hedero. She's brought together artists from every country that abuts the Nile to create music and an album together called the Nile Project. In the middle, Joshua Roman is Yo-Yo Ma's protege. I love saying that. And on the left is Vijay Gupta. He's the youngest member of the LA Philharmonic Orchestra, but in conjunction with Adrian Hong, another TED Fellow, he created Street Symphony, and it brings classical music to people on Skid Row, people who are homeless, mentally ill, or incarcerated. And it turns out that classical music is extremely soothing to folks who have schizophrenia. We have so many artists, I can't tell you all about them, and I'll tell you about one, Kate Nichols on the left. She creates art that uses nanoparticles to create structural color based on the shape of little teeny tiny particles rather than pigment, and her work is collected in museums. So these are the kind of people that we're looking for, and I hope one of them is you. So what do you get? If this were a game show, I need to now tell you what prize you win. You get an all-expenses paid trip to TED. You get to join an international confraternity of amazing people. You get coaching and PR help and a pre-conference, and mostly you become part of the TED community. Oh yeah, and you get to give a TED Talk. And that can have interesting effects, as we'll see in a moment. So before I do the next slide, I just wanted to say, result not typical. So not everybody has these things happen to them, but people can get really well known around the world and have their ideas rocket around the world. You get credibility. With the TED Fellowship, you can get your open doors anywhere. And you can find this amazing personal and professional network that can solve almost anything. And you have these crazy collaborations between physicists and artists, among other examples. Now, here's the money part. People like this part. A lot of times, people get various kinds of awards and fellowships and grants, academic grants, artistic grants, grants to do your NGO work. And you might get your whole startup funded. You might have your NGO get really great funding. In fact, 2 people have been offered laboratories. Come to my university and start a lab, and here's $2 million to do that. That's happened twice, which is good, usually. And then there's also these incredible media opportunities like TV and movies. Let me just give you a couple final examples, and then we'll barrel on to the end. This is Bel Pesci. She's a Brazilian entrepreneur. She gave a talk at TED Global in September. We put her up on the site, and in 1 month, she got 2.3 million video views around the world. That is an amazing thing. If I spoke in venues like this every day for as long as I can possibly deal with, I would never reach that many people. Let me give you one other example. Greg Gage. He's a neuroscientist from the University of Michigan. He wants to bring neuroscientists to young people in grade school and in high school and in colleges. He did this incredible demo and talk. In 10 days, he was seen 3.5 million times. And then crazy stuff starts happening. People call, do you need investment money? Do you want to do a story about you? You want to buy your products? All kinds of crazy stuff. So all of that's not going to happen to one fellow. But a lot of great stuff does happen. So to tell you a little bit more about the program, I'd like to introduce the second TED Fellow from Australia, Lucy McRae.
I'm Lucy McRae. I'm a science fiction artist, director, and body architect. My work is about responding to things that I sense as really intuitive, really primal.
I'm fascinated with the idea of what happens when you merge biology with technology. And I remember reading about this idea of being able to reprogram biology in the future away from disease and aging.
I think the TED Fellowship reassured me and my place as an artist in the world. As far as I know, I'm the second Australian TED Fellow, and that makes me incredibly proud. You know, you can feel detached in Australia. That's also its beauty, to be far away. But I feel like this fellowship program creates this global connection.
So I've had both of the Australian fellows insured by Lloyd's of London in case anything should happen to them. And that's why I need more of them so we can recover. Super quick, how does this work? So it's totally free, it's totally open, you don't need to be nominated, you don't have to have 1 million recommendations, you have to have 3 though. It's a very short online form. It is, however, very selective. We receive thousands of applications per cycle. But everybody's welcome. Every kind of person is totally welcome. And in fact, we wanted to extend a special invitation to Aboriginal peoples and Torres Strait Islanders to be part of this incredible program. And the last class of fellows, we had more women than men. This rarely happens in almost any field of endeavor in the world. So it's pretty damn good. And all of that boils down to 20 fellows in the class. So the next cycle of applications opens August 11th, but you don't have to remember that. All you have to do is do this. Everyone write down this, fellows@ted.com. That's fellows@ted.com. Write us about you, 2 sentences about you, and your email address, and send it to that address. Or nominate some people that you think might be cool, and we'll follow up with their email addresses and just a little bit about them to fellows@ted.com. And then we will let you know when applications are open. You can learn more about the program from ted.com/fellows. And in summary, we want you to apply, nominate, and tell your friends. So basically, does this program seem cool to you? Okay, so help me get some amazing Australian fellows. Thank you very much.